and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go follow me over on Instagram at Life with Brittany so you can keep up with behind the scene things that don't get posted here and keep up with my pregnancy. I first want to start by saying, if you have not, go catch up on my pregnancy. I have a whole pregnancy playlist of from the moment I found out I was pregnant, before trying to conceive. This is our rainbow baby, so I documented my miscarriage and shared that story to be beneficial with other people going through that. So pretty much from my miscarriage all the way to this trying to conceive journey to finding out I'm pregnant, I have been documenting all of it. So go follow along. I'll link the videos down below in my description so you can catch up. So I wanted to get this video up a lot sooner, but due to being sick and tired and crampy, and I've had a doctor's appointment almost every week of this pregnancy, I'm quite behind on getting this video posted. Please try not to drive yourself crazy. If you are in the 2-week wait right now, you probably are here because you're in the 2-week wait. The 2-week wait freaking drives us crazy. We want to test 24/7, and we think every little thing is a pregnancy symptom, and you will drive yourself crazy. It's best to just try to not think about it, not Google everything, and not just sit there and pay attention to every symptoms aren't gonna matter. If you're pregnant, you're gonna get that positive test, and it's so hard to do, right? Like, I know it's easier said than done. I promise, like, just don't stress yourself out about it. I have found throughout each pregnancy that pregnancy symptoms are so much like PMS symptoms that it's like so hard to tell. There's been so many times that I was for sure I was pregnant based on my symptoms, and then I wasn't. So you can very well have no symptoms and still get that big fat positive. So I personally, I didn't have too many symptoms, but I also was not over analyzing everything. My first symptoms were probably that I noticed that kind of like ovulation pain. If you've noticed ovulation pain, I'm really in tune with my body. Had to let my hair down because sometimes just wearing your hair up is not comfortable. So I know when I'm ovulating, kind of based on discharge and stuff, and that little twinge and pain you get on one side. So I noticed that probably about a week after conception, a weekish, I noticed that pain. It was very noticeable. It was like this twinge, like this sharp pain on one side of my lower abdomen. So I remember that, and then I had very vivid, wild dreams, and I'm still, even now, the whole first trimester, like the crazy vivid dreams. And I mean, like, you can taste what you're eating, and you can like feel emotions, and like the dream is so real. You wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, like you remember every detail. Like it's just a crazy, vivid, wild dream. Those were like my two first symptoms. I noticed I'm a lot more thirsty, and I'm still like, even at night, I wake up and like want to chug water. I'm like always thirsty. Another one was, what really gave it away was my extreme tiredness at around about 7 days past ovulation. I remember being so tired, and I always get tired before my period. Like, it's just a PMS symptom for me. I get like unmotivated, and I just feel more drowsy, and just like a mild tiredness, like where you just don't want to do anything. You feel like unmotivated, you just feel tired. But this was like an extreme fatigue. Like I wanted to go take a nap, and I wanted to go to bed at 6 or 7 at night. Like I was extremely tired. I knew that was like a pregnancy symptom for me. I also got headaches for those 2 days. 7 and 8 days past ovulation, I had extreme headache. Like from the time I woke up till the time I went to bed, I had a headache. I just wanted to lay down because I was tired and my head hurt, and I just knew, and I was extremely hungry. And I remember this too when I was pregnant with my son. I don't really remember with the last pregnancy that ended in a miscarriage, but I know that the pregnancy with my son, and I know that this pregnancy, after ovulation, I was extremely hungry. Like I just wanted to snack and eat all day. That's a symptom, being hungry. And then that kind of tapers off because if you're like me, you get sick in the first trimester and nothing sounds good. So enjoy that appetite. Okay, so like I said, 7 and 8 days past ovulation, I was so tired and had such a bad headache. 7 and 8 days past ovulation. So at 8 DPO, 8 days past ovulation at 9:30 at night, I was going to pee and I was going to bed, and I have these at-home tests I got from Amazon. They're like $7, and it's a huge pack of the little strips that you dip in a cup. Really cheap test. I've never used those. I always use first response. I always get a positive on 10 days past ovulation. And I use first morning urine. So this was very unlike me to test at 9:30 at night with a strip test. And I just knew that I felt off, like, girl, you could be pregnant. Because I did not feel like my period was about to come in 6 or 7 days. So I decided to take one. So I took the test and I let it dry for a minute while I washed my hands and stuff. I was just blown away when I saw a faint line, and I was like, no way, like, I'm having line eyes. There's no way. It's 8 days past ovulation. It's 9:30 at night. These are not sensitive tests. They're little strips. Like, there's no way. So I showed my husband. He's sitting on the couch watching TV, and I'm like, I cut the big living room light on. I come with like a light. I'm like, do you see this line, or am I just seeing things? And so I showed it to him, and he was like, I for sure see a line, but it's very, very faint. He was like, I just don't know if you can just believe that. And I'm thinking the same thing. So I take another one like 5 minutes after taking that one, because I want to compare the two, you know. And sure enough, the second one had a line too. And so I was like, this can't be. I was like, last month I did not see no line on these tests. Like, there was no mistake in it. Because it's really easy to kind of mistake it on like a blue dye test, one of the plus signs, and like the plus sign ones. But it's really, I've never really even like thought I saw a line on a strip one. Like, it's very line or no line. There's like, I've never seen really VAP lines on those. So I took another one, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, maybe we're just seeing things, because it was so I got all my pregnancy tests. This box is in here because I never used it. There's still test in there because we didn't need it. Okay, so I took a ton of the strip ones to see the line progression, and the line was so... Okay, here's one. I mean, the line is so faint on this test, you know? And then eventually it did get darker, way darker. That was just like a few days. It got way darker. And then it got way darker on these. So anyways, I was like, oh my gosh. So then I took a test because I had a first response that I was saving, because I like to keep the more expensive test until closer to my period, so I'm not getting false positives and wasting tests because they're expensive. So I had a first response, and I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take this at 9 days past ovulation, even though I always get a positive at 10, because if these cheapies are accurate and this is a faint line, then it will for sure show up on a first response, was my thinking. So I got my camera. I wanted to film this in case it was positive. I could have it to document and look back at. And I was not expecting it to be positive, honestly. I was so blown away and so excited. And that's this test. It's in the bag, so you can slightly see the line. But anyways, that was my symptoms, really. The twinges on one side, vivid dreams, being really thirsty, extreme tiredness, headaches, and this was all closer to like probably 10 days before my missed period. It wasn't right after conception. So it was probably like 10 or 9 days, you know, when most of the symptoms started. The extreme tiredness and extreme headaches were 2 days before I got my positive test. So anyways, those are my 2 week wait symptoms. Don't drive yourself crazy over it. If you are here like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get that positive? I'm sending baby dust your way. I really hope you get that big fat positive. Comment down below and let me know. If you're watching this video now and you get a positive days, I would love to know. And also let me know what your 2 week wait symptoms were. Every girl is so uniquely different, and I love to hear everybody's pregnancy stories and their experiences and their symptoms. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe. I will be documenting my whole pregnancy, and I already have started, so go follow along. Go follow me on Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up, chat with me in the comments, and I will see you guys on my next video.